And we are live. Good evening, Bitcoiners. It is Monday. Where are we? Monday, the 22nd of February, 2021. As always, strong Bitcoin hand. You needed that one today, unless you haven't looked at the charts. We'll talk about that in a minute. It is great to be here with you all, as always. Firstly, if you haven't watched Thursday's live interview with Bitcoin Meister, the link is in the chat. I would definitely go and watch it after this. It was a great interview. Thoroughly enjoyed doing it. I know that we've got Adam in the house under his Proud Zionist Jew channel today. So welcome. Very, very quickly, Lance Hoddle, Yorkie Bitcoiner, JC Borta, my lovely wife Elaine, Buffy W is in the house. I have seen Zaza in the house. Who else have we got there? Jason Chu, welcome to you. I'm a poet and I didn't know it. Oh, God. Barge Dobnik, good to see you back in the house, Barge. Who else have we got? Just scrolling down. UK. Oh, no. Vention's in the house. Vention, thank you for the sats. And whoever dropped the lightning sats a couple of days ago, thank you very much, whoever you were. There was no message left, so I'd like to thank you in person if you are watching this. Jake Mullin is in the house. Great to have you with us. I've also seen Mark Maladi coming in from, I believe it's North Carolina. So welcome, everyone. Great to have you all in the house. Please tweet this out. Very important. There's a link that's pinned. You pick that link up and you just tweet that link out and it links to my tweet, etc. We need to get more people finding this channel and channels like it. Lizelle, welcome. Great to have you in the house. Lilia Epping is in the house. Wilco Delamar has joined us. Welcome. Matthew Underhill. People, if you want to have a shout out, type in, or if you just want to type in, hello UK Bitcoin Master. If you type in UK Bitcoin Master, not for you, for me. It highlights it in bright orange. I've got a couple of windows either side. I'm looking at it so I don't miss any. And then I would see that if you want to shout out. Gary O'Connell is in the house. Welcome, Gary. Great to have you with us. I think it's time we get on with the show. If anybody else joins, I'll try and catch them out of the corner of my eye. A quick shout out to my good friend Bitcoin to the Moon down in Australia. He very kindly sent me this t-shirt when I first got into Bitcoin, and I couldn't carry on without saying hello to the lovely Kristen coming in from Texas. Kristen, love it when I see you in the chat. Lifts my spirits. It's great to have you with us. And again, the email you recently sent, thank you so much. Emails like that really have a profound effect on what I do, because being a Bitcoiner that doesn't understand technical analysis, TA, doesn't understand all the charts and everything they talk about with upside down triangles, and I don't understand any of that. I sometimes wonder what value I bring to the community. And when I get emails like Kristen emailed, that just absolutely elevates me. So Kristen, thank you from the bottom of my heart. That was a lovely, lovely email. So if you're new to this channel, very important that you hit that subscribe button. Now, if you're live in the chat now, you can't see it. If you're watching this on catch up, then it is down somewhere over here. You click subscribe, but subscribing alone is not enough. You need to then click the bell icon and click all. That way you will see when I go live twice a week, every Monday, every Thursday, 6 p.m. London, barring serious illness or any type of thing where I simply can't get in front of a camera. So that is it. Tweet it out, people. Let's get over. No, very briefly, if you're new to the channel, you should be reading this down here as well. If you haven't, I'm not giving any financial advice. If you want to check out my work, go to ukbitcoinmaster.com. That's where every video I've ever done is housed. And bitcoininterviews.com is where I have housed all the Bitcoin interviews that I've done to date. Did one with Bitcoin Meister last Thursday. Got another one coming up in 2 Thursdays' time. Not this Thursday, the following Thursday. That's been confirmed today. Really excited about talking to that guest. I haven't had this individual on my show before, so I won't steal the thunder. Catch me next Monday where I will announce who Thursday's guest is. And finally, Vention, thank you again. And the dude that dropped a few Satoshis a couple of days ago. Anybody that wants to drop a tip, I don't know if you know this, if you're new to all of this, you've got to have 1,000 subscribers to start Super Chats. Now, I don't run this channel for any type of financial gain at all. Don't need to. Okay, but there are people that have reached out to me and said, look, we want to drop you a tip and we don't know how. If that's you, excuse me, then there you go. Tipping.me at UK Bitcoin Master. You can drop a few Satoshis if you so choose. So I want to start the show off. We're going to get over to the desktop and I want to ask you all a question, and be honest, people. Okay, who was freaking out several hours ago when we watched Bitcoin plummet almost $10,000 in a matter of an hour? Because that's what happened. I had the chart on my second monitor. I was working away and I watched it at 57 plummet down to 47. And the question I want to ask is, who freaked out? Now, when you look at this chart, you know, a noob is going to go, oh my Lord, what's happening? What's happening? They're going to panic. What do? My lovely wife's out in the sunshine doing a bit of work in the garden. I hang out the window and I say to her, the Bitcoin's correcting right now. And every few minutes I go out and I said, another 1,000 down, another 1,000 down. And she's saying, no, I don't need to hear this. And I said, strong hand, baby. This gives people a buying opportunity. I come straight back into the office. I get onto my computer and boom, I dollar cost average. I buy the flipping dip. So who's in the chat that bought that beautiful dip earlier? Who's in the chat that absolutely freaked out and thought the world was crashing, everything was tumbling down, when all it was a correction and a bounce back? You can see, if I put my cursor here, you can see the low at the bottom of the wick was about 47.3, I believe, something like that. And then it quickly rebounded back up to about 52.53. And we're now at 51.6. Absolutely normal. I've said this a million times before, people. And that is, if you cannot stomach the volatility, you should not be in Bitcoin. It is a brand new asset class. It is absolutely normal with its market cap, just under a trillion, but, you know, still to be a bit manipulative when the sell orders come in, etc., and the load sell. It is what it is. You know, what you must do if you look at this is go back and look that, you know, on the 10th of December, the 9th of December, you know, we were sat at 18 and now we're at 51.7. Just always keep that in mind. It's called zooming out and looking at the bigger picture, because I'm okay. I've got a mega strong hand. So if that thing collapses 10, 15, 20%, I'm in there and I'm buying the dip. But if you don't have that strong hand, it can absolutely freak you out. So you should not be watching that chart every day unless you've got that strong bullish hand. That's all you need, because it will always return and it will always go again, people. Understand the 210,000 block theory, the 4-year cycles that Bitcoin go through. Yes, they may be slightly different this time round with the institutions piling, but they are going to dip. And you need to be ready to buy that dip, keep a little bit in reserve, and then build that strong, mega strong Bitcoin hand. Mark says, I was a bit early, but I bought. Yeah, Mark, I missed the bottom, the 47. I think I bought at, it was about 49, just under 50. But hey, That's okay. Every sat that you get on sale is worth having, people. Bram VDB, great to have you in the house. I don't think I've missed anyone. If you've shot in and I've missed you and you want to shout out, type in UK Bitcoin Master. That is all you need to do. So enough on the charts for now. Let's get over to what's going on in the news. Now, here's the thing, people. My job is not to tell you what's going to happen with Bitcoin. My job on my show is not to put up charts that was just to look at the Bitcoin price and start telling you what I think is going to happen. My job is to help people that find my channel that might be new to Bitcoin or been in a while but don't have that mega strong stomach yet to build that strong hand. So all you're going to do here is get things that I find that I believe are very, very bullish for Bitcoin. And here's one. Bitcoin becomes the 6th most valuable asset in the world at 1 trillion market cap. Let me say that again. The 6th most valuable on the planet. And yet we're still so flipping early. That's what you got to keep in mind. So the first bullet point, Bitcoin is now the 6th most valuable asset globally, one rank below Google's parent company, Alphabet. I think I've got another article that actually says it was above it. I can't quite remember. We'll have a look. Bitcoin breached yet another significant milestone of 1 trillion market cap. Passing Tesla and Tencent to become the 6th most valuable asset in the world. And there it is there. It was at that point, I believe, just above the Google sister company or whatever it was called. I can't remember. The point of what I'm saying is don't worry about the dips. The dips are normal and par for the course for Bitcoin. Buy the dips. Build your strong hand, Bitcoin will recover and it will carry on its way. You need to understand something. No matter what goes on out there in the big wide world, whether there's a financial crash, whether there is inflation, hyperinflation, every 10 minutes without fail, Bitcoin churns out 6.25 new minted coins. That is it. And that never changes no matter what is going on out there. So it's getting mopped up. It is becoming more and more scarce. So your job, if you get in the rabbit hole, is to start building your belief. And when you feel it's right, start dollar cost averaging into Bitcoin. Nobody's saying anything. I did catch somebody else join. Jean from Holland. Jean, welcome to the show. As always, great to have you in the house. Bitcoin is up nearly 100% this year as the bull market continues. Now, all the experts say that on average, Bitcoin grows 200% per year. Some more than others, some less than others, but the average is 200%. And here we are, Bitcoin up nearly 100%, and we're not even out of the second full calendar month of the year. That is mega bullish. Dan, great to have you in the house. You bought the dip today, as did I, Dan. And if you are a strong Bitcoin hander, you should have bought that dip today without a shadow of a doubt. So, did I find something here worth reading? I thought, yeah, strong institution. This is the key. The current bull market has been markedly different from the one that took place in 2017. Not 18, it was on its way down, but 2017, where Bitcoin prices approached $19,800 but failed to sustain the levels, falling below 15,000 in a matter of days. There was nothing else there. The point is, this article from Forbes is referring to the fact that all the pointers look to this as potentially being very different to the 2017 halving. Now, if you go and watch my live interview with Bitcoin Meister from last Thursday, I asked Adam the question about, does he feel that Next year, there may not be such a big correction because of the institutions. And he said something that I wholeheartedly agree with. I just wanted his take for my audience. And that is, if you prepare yourself mentally for that 60, 80% crash or correction or whatever it is, if we get 20 and we carry on up, then that's a great psychology to have. If you set yourself up that we're not going to have that huge pullback and it does pull back, that could totally freak you out. So the better psychology is be prepared for the worst, but hope for the best. Mavic Mini Flyer UK, great to have you in the house. I've just seen your name pop up. Bitcoin Sue has joined us. Great to see you as well, Sue. And by the way, Sue, when you messaged me the other day, I rang you immediately, but your telephone did not answer. I did try to get back to you, Bitcoin Sue. So what else? Whoops, me mouse has stopped working. There you go. It has. Hang on a sec. Let's get it back. There we go. Right. So what else have we got? Now, BTC worth $1 trillion we've already talked about, but look at this one. OKCoin delist BCH and BSV. For those new to this channel, BCH and BSV were forks of Bitcoin. They've gone off and professed that they are the real Bitcoin. BSV is headed up by the guy that we call Fake Toshi. His name is Dr. Craig Wright. In my opinion, he's a scammer. You've also got Roger Ver from Bitcoin Cash for quite a period of time was portraying BCH, Bitcoin Cash, as the real Bitcoin. When you went onto their site, it looked like you were buying Bitcoin and you actually ended up buying Bitcoin Cash. But if you read the article, it's talking about BCH and BSV. They simply just do not have the market cap to be on this exchange, and BSV has been listed delisted elsewhere as well. Whilst in some sense, oh no, that's the wrong one. I want to go down and find the BSV bit. Here we go. OKCoin is delisting Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin SV to prevent new customers from confusing these two forks for Bitcoin. Hurrah! Fantastic. Because they've both tried to portray themselves as the real Bitcoin. And there is only one Bitcoin, people. Bitcoin Meister says it. Bitcoin is the next Bitcoin. There's only ever going to be one Bitcoin. When you understand the fundamentals of Bitcoin, Bitcoin is the only coin out there that stands a chance right now because of its history, the white paper, the 7 network effects that you need to learn about, obviously, that stands a chance of becoming the future of money, store of value, unit of account, and everything. If this fails, certainly in my lifetime and yours, we're probably not going to see anything that would replace it. So we've got the best shot being in Bitcoin. So keep that one in mind when you're buying as well. This guy's really bullish, isn't he? Companies that are flocking to Miami are absolutely incredible. Sorry, needed a cough. Miami Mayor Suarez, Tesla's 1.5 billion buy is just the beginning for Bitcoin. These are very, very bullish statements. Miami Mayor Francis Suarez told Decrypt that Tesla's 1.5 billion Bitcoin investment is just part of the crypto world's transition into mainstream culture. It is racing towards us. The short-term price to pull back, ignore it. It is racing towards us, people. According to Mayor Suarez, there will be more groundbreaking events to follow that could transform the cryptocurrency industry forever. This is really just a metamorphosis and transition into mainstreaming, and I think there are still 2 or 3 mega events that are out there for Bitcoin, said Mayor Suarez. Yeah, maybe, could be more, who knows? But crikey, is that bullish, people? Do you want to miss out on the potential gains of that happening? Glenn McCann, welcome to you. I agree, keep buying the dips. I just saw that name pop up. Great to have you all with us. If you're in the chat and you haven't smashed that like button, do it now. It keeps the video up on YouTube. More people can see it, and we can help more ordinary people like you and I not be scammed into the wrong coin thinking they're buying Bitcoin. So not only do you help the show by pounding the like button, you help the show by tweeting it out on Twitter, you help the show by going to the comment section of the video after the video's ended and just leaving a comment, anything, great show, thanks, brilliant, rubbish, whatever. I'll only delete blasphemous comments and the comments from the bots that want you to go and call Mr. So-and-so on WhatsApp, he helped me make fortunes, save fortunes, and they just get removed straight away. But if you want to put a negative comment about my show in the comments, that's fine. I respect it. I can't please everyone. I know some of you are on the call and maybe you are way over the top of me in terms of your development, what you understand about Bitcoin, etc. But I'm very open to negative feedback as well, people. I take it on board. Zaza, John says hi, he's here. John from Malibu, great to have you in the house, sir. I hope you've got some flipping damn clothes on, John. Leave it there. Okay, so what else have we got if this thing doesn't go and do something daft again? These 3 Wall Street billionaires recently supporting Bitcoin. Look, we know of them. The names, they ring in our ears. But, you know, I don't know who's brand new joining my chat. Who's brand new and finding this video in 2022, 2023, 2025. So I just want to revisit why we're all so bullish. And it's not just us being a bit loopy, trying to suck people in to our scam or our scheme. We have got headline after headline, you know, naming these types of people. 3 Wall Street investors supporting Bitcoin. You got Ray Dalio, the founder of Bridgewater Associates. Ray Dalio recently said in a research note that Bitcoin is one hell of an invention, adding that the asset may be seen as a gold-like alternative. Awesome. I think, you know, it's going to replace gold's market cap pretty soon, I believe. That's just my own personal opinion. Stan Druckenmiller, one of the best investors of all time, said to CNBC that he owns Bitcoin, though caveated that by saying he owns more gold than the digital asset. That's cool. I'm not going to slam gold here. I think gold and Bitcoin will coexist, but I think over time people will understand the power of Bitcoin over gold. But think about this. Try walking through an airport departure lounge with a bar of gold in your suitcase. Look at what happens. Try remembering your 24 seed words and walking through an airport. You can take $1 billion anywhere in the world, open up a computer, put those seed words back in, and you've got your Bitcoin back. There is nothing else on the planet that can give you that. So whilst gold has got a place, Bitcoin is the new gold, in my opinion, without a doubt. He said that with such a large amount of millennial support, the coin may outperform gold. Paul Tudor Jones, a macro investor and the founder of Tudor Investment Corp, Tudor Jones, said in May 20, crikey, we're heading for a year since then, that he thinks Bitcoin is the fastest horse in the race against inflation right now. So, you know, if you're new to all of this, we've got some massive figures out there in the financial world that are absolutely raving about Bitcoin. And all I can say is, if you are putting all your energy and all your focus in what's going on with the price day to day, hour to hour, you are doing this all wrong. You need to be working out what you can dollar cost average and do it as often as you can. And then understand that when you zoom out on those charts, Bitcoin is steadily going in an upward direction. If you are looking day to day, you are seeing you spent a few $100s today and tomorrow it's down to $130 and oh my goodness, what have I done? And all your friends and family and the people around you want to go, see, it's going down, you idiot. Whereas you hold it and then you look at it week, 2 weeks, 3 months later, and the $200 is now $1,000. You didn't lose anything. You just kept watching the charts and you kept being freaked out by those short-term dips. Ignore the day-to-day price. Sorry, got a tickle today. Hopefully you couldn't hear that when I pressed the mute button. Okay. And finally, I believe on the publications, Canadian Bitcoin ETF attracts over 400 million in investments in 48 hours. This is not the big ETF that keeps getting pushed back and back and back and back, the American one. This is the first one launched in Canada. But I'm telling you, they'll all start to follow suit. It is just a matter of time. Investors clearly want in. That's what you should take away from this. In the 48 hours following the launch of trading, of the Bitcoin ETF on the Toronto Stock Exchange, over 400 million was invested in shares of the ETF. Bloomberg senior ETF analyst Eric Balchunas noted, I think I said that right, that the Canada Bitcoin ETF was the most traded ETF in the country in its first day of trading. My goodness, you wait till this all starts to go. This is just a matter of time. I think we are going to see some incredibly mega events over this year as it plays out. I really do. What are they? What are they going to look like? Where are they going to come from? Hey, none of us have got a crystal ball, people. You've just got to make sure that you're dollar cost averaging. You've got a strategy. If you're younger than me, you should be dollar cost averaging for 10 to 20 years. Just getting on with your life, going to work, looking after your family, getting out in the sunshine, mowing the lawn, going on holiday, feeding the dog, clearing up the whatever it is they've met, and just getting on with life. Life is too short, people. It's gone in a heartbeat. You should, in the background, be building up your Bitcoin portfolio for early retirement or better lifestyle for your children, grandchildren and great-grandchildren, and not coming into Bitcoin to buy today and make massive gains tomorrow. Because if that's what you're after, you are in the wrong game, I tell you. Anyone can memorize 12 words. Absolutely, JC. Yeah, some have got 12, some have got 24. Anyone can definitely memorize them if they want to. It's interesting. No, I won't say it. That my OPSEC's not very good if I say that. But I created something that when I first looked at it, it hurt my head. I put it on a bit of card and I read it to myself 10 or 15 times every day. The card's destroyed, and that massive amount of words and symbols and everything else is completely lodged in here now. I wanted to test whether that was possible. So, JC, I agree with you. Crypto Beacon 77. Great to have you in the house. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget to pound the like button. A really quick interlude and we'll cover some great tweets that I found. I do want to give a shout out to justlearnbitcoin.com. They've got some packages over there, basic consultations, Arctic long-term storage. So worth checking out justlearnbitcoin.com. They've got your typical merchandise that is worth buying over there. Poor old Dan is really, really, really not well. So nobody please slate this because Dan hasn't been able to update a few things. And, you know, health is more important than anything, ultimately, as you would know, Vention. And I would know right now because I'm going through some stuff and I'm off into hospital on Wednesday to find out a little bit more about what's going on personally for me. So, you know, it sort of brings it in focus that, you know, your health is the most important thing that we all have. You know, without that, all the Bitcoin in the world, all the tea in China, does it really matter? No, it doesn't. So it's about looking after your health. And, you know, shout out to Dan at justlearnbitcoin.com. And Dan, if you're watching this from a hospital bed or from home or whatever you're doing, you know, shout out to you, man. Get well soon, Dan. Drop us an email. Let us know you're okay. That would be really, really great. So one last thing before we get into the tweets, if I may. I do want to give a shout out to Matthew, who's in the house. This is a really great book for beginners. It's a really great book for anyone that wants to give a gift to a family member to get them to try and understand Bitcoin. Why do I say that? A, I've got it. B, I've read it twice. Elaine's reading it right now. She was in bed last night reading it on her iPad. It is easily digestible. It doesn't freak your head out. So therefore, it's really good to give someone and say, look, if you're a reader, read that. I read it over a couple of days. And you can see what's on the back of it. It's just an incredible book. Check it out on Amazon. If you've got this book, people, we've all got to help each other. I'm always wanting you guys to tweet this out, to help the show, to hit the like button. Well, you know, Matthew also wants people to find his book, Being a Bitcoiner. So if you've got the book and you've read it, go to Amazon and leave him a review. My review's already there. A great book, well worth checking out. Now, look, there's a lot of good books out there, but I look for ones that are an easy read that someone can get their head around, and this book really is it. There we go. We just lost that again. Hang on a second. I knew I was going to have a problem there. So, back on with the show, some great tweets that I found from none other than Saifedean Ammous. He is the author of The Bitcoin Standard, the first Bitcoin book I ever read, and I couldn't put it down. I really couldn't. This seems like the end of the beginning for Bitcoin. At around 50k and 1 trillion market cap, with the institutional floodgates open. By now, almost everyone has heard of Bitcoin at a much lower price and seen it rise a lot. Anybody who hasn't got in by now isn't an early adopter. Now, when you look at a tweet I put out recently showing the S-curve, we are, according to experts, and I'm not an expert, right at the start of an up S-curve. So whilst you might not be an early adopter, you are still so mega early into this. And if we're going to talk money for a minute, you could make fortunes in a decade or two by just dollar cost averaging a little bit each payday out of your wages or your salary. So whilst you might not be, according to Saifedean, an early adopter anymore, you are definitely still mega early to the Bitcoin party for sure. Armin the Parman, I use him a lot. He's got some great resources out there, actually. Check out armintheparman.com. When you understand Bitcoin and act perfectly rationally, you appear to be irrational to the ignorant. So let me break that down. So when I'm talking about where Bitcoin's going to go and what it's doing already and what it's going to do, the people out there that are the no coiners, let's call them, they look at you like you're a fruitcake. But who's the ultimate fruitcake? If this thing does moon, if this makes many Bitcoiners stinking filthy rich, if that's what you're in it for, who's the total fruitcake? The person that secures the family's future for generations, or the person who is the no-coiner that ends out praying to governments for handouts? Who's the fruitcake? So really, really, if you think about not just the words, but you sort of break down the tweet, a really, really good tweet indeed. From Turner Novak. If Warren Buffett had invested his entire net worth in Bitcoin in 2009, he'd be worth over $700 trillion today. Now, sometimes the timing isn't right for anyone. If somebody had approached me about Bitcoin maybe in 2014, maybe I would have rejected it out of hand. The timing is right when it's right for each and every one of us for whatever reason. Okay? So if you feel, oh my God, Brian's been in 4 years. I wish I'd have been in 4 years. I wish I'd have been in when Bitcoin Meister was in 2013. There are people getting involved now that wish they were in when I got in. There'll be people getting into Bitcoin in 2025. They'll be wishing that they got in 2021. So it's never too late to get into this thing. And if you don't believe me, here's what I want you to do. I want you to divide the 300 or 400 trillion, some say 3, some say 4, the 300 or 400 trillion dollars of money in the world, divide that into just 21 million coins, and then you work out how much a Bitcoin could ultimately be worth in 10, 20, 30 years from now. So if you're younger than me, you should be stacking those Satoshis, because even half a Bitcoin could be worth $5 million, $10 million, $500 million. We don't know, but you sure as heck are early, people. I said it on the previous tweet as well, didn't I? Okay. Whoops, I was trying to move to the next one there. Plan B, very well respected in the space. He's divisive. Some people don't agree with him. Many do. Well, people have been commenting. I'll come back to that in a second. Plan B. It is simple. Now, I want you to have a bit of vision here, people. In the old world, your money loses value because governments debase currencies to fund their warfare and welfare states. In the new world, Bitcoin increases in value because maths cap the monetary base at 21 million. The new world is eating the old world right now. But it's only just getting started. And most people are not seeing this because they're not zooming out, or they're not starting to understand the fundamentals of all this. This thing is already starting to happen, people. Get into Bitcoin. So OPSEC Classified. Hello, great to have you in the house. I am glad I was able to catch you live. Love your show. Oh, man, thank you. I appreciate that. I was saying at the start of the show, sometimes I wonder what I have to offer, not understanding technical analysis and stuff. So when people like you say that, OPSEC, that makes it worth the while and makes me continue doing what I'm doing. So thank you. Matthew, thank you so much. Brian, really appreciate your kind words. Matt, I mean it. I really do mean it. The book is awesome. I've read 5 or 6 books now, some of them audio books, and it's right up there, Matthew. So again, you people, if you haven't got that book, Matthew's book, check it out on Amazon. OPSEC said, strong hand, personal responsibility is the new counterculture. Yeah, somebody watches Bitcoin Meister. Personal responsibility is the new counterculture. What does that mean? Okay, leave your money in the bank and let them be responsible for it. And if somebody hacks your bank account and takes $1,000, the bank will get it back for you. Own your own Bitcoin. Look after your own private keys. So you are now self-sovereign. Okay, but what comes with that is personal responsibility. You lose those keys. You put them on a computer when you shouldn't, and that same £1,000 is gone forever, and no one's getting it back for you. But that £1,000 you buy today could very well be worth 10, 20, 30, 50, 100,000 in a decade from now. So personal responsibility is the new counterculture. That is what that means. And I said it on my interview with Adam on Thursday. His sayings are not just quirky, fancy sayings. Every one of them means something profound, and you've got to listen to that. Bitcoin is the next Bitcoin. It means there isn't going to be another Bitcoin. There's going to be flavors of the month. There's going to be coins that say we're Satoshi's vision, we're the real Bitcoin. There isn't going to be one. Yeah, so they're great sayings, but open your mind and get inside what the saying means, because it holds a lot of impact. JC says, those who hear not the music think the dancer's mad. Hey, that's a good one, JC. I like that one. Awesome. Yeah, type in UK Bitcoin Master if you want to shout out, or if you got something valuable to say, I'll happily air it on the show. And another tweet from Robert Kiyosaki. Now, because of my industry that I've been in for 20 years, I really respect and have followed Robert Kiyosaki. And I love his cash flow quadrant, about being employed, about being in business, in investments, being self-employed. I love that cash flow quadrant. What I also love now, whilst he's a gold and silver bug, I'm not knocking them, okay? He is also, his tweets are always gold, silver and Bitcoin. Okay, and he's got a lot of influence, this guy. He is, a really good financial guy. Why I like gold, silver, and Bitcoin: liquidity. People rushing in to buy a house at the top of the real estate market. When real estate crashes, they can't get out. Real estate is not liquid. I own 8,000 rental properties bought during crashes. There you go. He bought his rental properties when the prices crashed. You buy Bitcoin when the price dips. It's no different, people. So when I went in and bought some Bitcoin today in the dip, I'm just copying what Robert Kiyosaki, a financial whiz, does. No different. In 2021, I prefer the liquidity of gold, silver, and Bitcoin. I would say the part of that I disagree with is, sure, you can liquidate gold and silver, but can you liquidate them in a heartbeat like you can with Bitcoin? Because 9 times out of 10, if you're not custodying your own gold, which you shouldn't be, it is somewhere in a bank vault. It's not that easy to liquidate it, is it? Bitcoin, you can get online and you can cash out your Bitcoin and put it into your fiat bank in a heartbeat if you really wanted to. So, but again, he is plugging Bitcoin, and that's the key. Johnny NY, great to have you, sir. Go back to the beginning, Johnny. Put it on 2x, 1.75x. I know I'm a bit of a fast speaker, so I'd imagine most people struggle to get me on even 1.5x because I tend to race really quickly. I do apologize, but I find if I speak slow, I find myself being extremely boring, and I'm a lot of energy person. So I saw one of Kiyosaki's videos on Bitcoin a year or more ago, and he wasn't absolutely ventured, and I do take that on board. But the point is, from a bullish perspective, he's got a lot of followers. He's out there in the space, and he's naming Bitcoin in his tweets is where I'm coming from. Yeah, sure. I haven't recently heard him negative on Bitcoin, but, there's some people that we respect in the space. Michael Saylor in 2013 said, Bitcoin's going to go to zero. So, I'm very open to people, getting in the rabbit hole, doing a bit more research, and then changing their attitudes. And that's great. We're all human and we all have a standpoint on something. And, if we're open to it, we can have our mind opened to maybe looking at it from another perspective or a different direction, I guess is where I'm coming from. Perhaps it's because I'm a mad Brit. I don't know. Okay. I love quotes, people. I found this one. And this is where I just want to ask us all to pull together a little bit. Coming together is a beginning. So we all started to find Bitcoin. Staying together is progress. And working together is success. If we all work together, if you tweet this show out, it gets more eyes on it and more noobs can find it, and we can get people into Bitcoin making the right decisions, which is really important. If you subscribe to the channel, hit the bell button, and then share the link out on any social media platforms, we get more eyeballs on this channel. I'm a tiny, minute cog in a massive global network. But I just believe that I wear my heart on my sleeve, and I think I can help a noob over time build a strong Bitcoin hand. Because when you look at corrections like we saw earlier today, you're going to need to have that strong hand, that strong stomach. But if you can have a 10K drop and laugh it off and then buy the dip knowing that it will bounce back at some point, that's a really good place to find yourself in, I believe. So do share it out, people. I would greatly appreciate it. If you are listening to this on the podcast, thanks for the support there, but tweet it out. I'd appreciate that. If you're watching this on YouTube from 24 hours from now, I'll be able to put the links that will come up at the end of the show, which will take you to my websites. Can I encourage you all? We need to screw with the YouTube algorithm and take 30 seconds after the show's finished. Refresh, go back in and leave a comment of some description. That helps also to keep it up in the rankings. So that is your Bitcoin show for today. OPSEC said I got in June of 17. Well, a month after me. Awesome. I also found Adam Meister, and he talked me into investing a good chunk before the crazy run up in 2017. Awesome. I hope you rode it all the way down and then rode 2018, 2019 and 2020 to where we are today. I love the Guy Bennett story, Pubby as he's called now, Pub Lord on Twitter. He bought the top. He kept buying, he rode it all the way down to 3 something, and now everything he purchased and held, he's back in the green again, he's in profit again, and if you did that OPSEC, way to go, man, way to go. Mark Malady said, everyone takes their time to come around, except Peter Schill. Love that one. Badge says, thanks, goodbye, and keep well, everyone. That is it, people. I'll end the show. Thanks for your support. Come and join me on Thursday. Tell 4 or 5 of your friends about my channel. Message them on whatever messaging platform you use and say, look, I'm in Bitcoin. You ought to take a look at it. Have a look at this guy's channel. He's a wacky Brit, but he can be pretty bullish and help you build your belief that this is a good thing to invest in. So I'm gone. Have a great week, you all. I'll catch you all on Thursday. Signing off. See you soon. Ta-da.